After taking over a week to select a jury, the trial of Jimmy Rodgers for the murder of Dr. Teresa Sievers is officially underway. From Court TV correspondents to our reporters in the courtroom, Four in the Corner has team coverage of this trial. Thanks for sticking with us for local coverage at 5:30. I'm Patrick Nolan in the studio, along with my co-anchor, Jane Monreal. She's anchoring our live coverage from outside the Lee County Courthouse with the latest on today's developments. Jane?
Patrick, we heard today opening statements from both the prosecution and the defense teams, and the first witnesses also took the stand. Very busy in the courtroom today. Did cause for some emotional moments as Dr. Teresa Sievers' sister took the stand, and her family was also in the courtroom. Let's go ahead and bring in Four in Your Corner, Sandra Rodriguez, who has been our eyes and ears in the courtroom since the beginning. So what did jurors hear today, Sandra?
Well, Jane, the prosecutors started off by saying that this is the story of the perfect marriage, the perfect friendship, the perfect alibi, and the perfect murder, before laying out what jury members are going to be seeing throughout this whole trial, what kind of evidence, what kind of witnesses they're going to be hearing, and what some of these testimonies are going to be. And of course, as we already know, Wright is one of those witnesses that the jury members are going to be hearing. So they basically told the jury members what Wright told detectives, basically what led up to the crime, to the moment that the crime happened, and how the crime happened. Here, take a listen.
Mr. Wright hit her with the hammer. He hit her again, and she started to fight with him. She had her hands up, trying to protect herself from fighting with Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright's going to tell you that at some point, Mr. Rodgers came out of nowhere. While she's fighting with Mr. Wright, Mr. Rodgers engages with his hammer, and he starts hitting her. And she's trying to fight them both. At some point, she bends over at the waist. She's still fighting, even though she's being overcome by a hammer. Mr. Rodgers continued hitting her until she fell down on the floor.
Very emotional for what appeared to be her family members that were also just sitting there in the on the benches and just watching.
Absolutely, you can see in the video how emotional her mom was, the other people sitting in the bench with her. It was just a very emotional moment. And also another emotional moment came when the hammer that was found at the scene was shown to the jury members. You could hear the mom just take a gasp of air.
To hear
just
that over
emotional.
and over again, yes.
And it's something they're going to be hearing again once Wright does take the stand to testify.
And so it sounds like, too, when Wright, what the attorney says about Wright entering the house, he followed Teresa in.
Yes, Wright says that he and Mr. Rodgers were in the home waiting for Teresa to arrive. When Teresa got there, and he walked up behind her and accidentally kicked the dog bowl, which alerted Teresa that somebody was in the home. And when she turned around, face to face with Mr. Wright, and that's when everything happened.
So they didn't have a plan?
They did not have a plan. That the state said that Wright had said that maybe strangling her would have been one of the ideas, but nothing was set in concrete until it actually happened.
All right, so tonight at 6, we're going to hear more from you in about half an hour about more of the witness testimony, including her sister.
The sister and the person who first found Teresa's body in the home.
Dr. Petritis.
Yes.
All right, Sandra, thank you so much. A lot of evidence, a lot of witness testimony already on this first day after opening statements. And Fox 4, of course, will be there in the courtroom as well as outside the courthouse, recapping the day's events throughout the entirety of this trial. So make sure to stick with Fox 4. We will keep you updated on our social media pages, on air, online, fox4now.com as well.